Welcome to Mürren, Switzerland. This is the most scenic, most beautiful hike I've ever done, and it's a 13-kilometer hike that starts on the North Face Trail, and you hike through some pastures, and you eventually reach the base of the Schilthorn mountain, which is a very challenging route. So I hope you enjoy this trip. This was incredible for me, and I would love to do this again one day when the visibility is just a little bit better. Alright, spent the night in Mürren. There is this one trail that I really wanted to climb while I'm out here, and it's the Schilthorn trail. Apparently this is the hard route to the Schilthorn. I talked to a guy yesterday and he said that he tried to go up to the Schilthorn on the normal path, and when he got there was just too much ice and snowfields for him to actually see the trail, and he said it was kind of sketchy. And then I was looking into other routes and I found the hard route, which doesn't go through the same snowfields. It's still tricky. There's a lot of scrambling, so there is hiking and sometimes having to use your hands as well. So it should be pretty challenging. I believe this is the hardest hike in all of Mürren where I'm staying, and it's a 13-kilometer hike starting down in Mürren, which I believe it's less than 2,000 meters elevation, and then there's a nice climb up to 2,100 meters to hit the Rockstead hut, which is back there. And it's a nice hut where a bunch of trekkers will stay on their way on the Via Alpina trail, which stretches through, multiple countries through the Alps. Yeah, they all went that way. About 20 people went up that mountain, and they're heading to a pass, and I'm heading up to the Schilthorn. I'm about to enter the clouds, so that's why I'm talking now, because I'm pretty sure we won't be able to see anything behind the clouds. It just goes straight up. So this will be fun. I hope I can reach the summit. Obviously, I'm gonna be careful. If I run into any snowfields or any situations where I can no longer see the trail marker, I will turn around. But yeah, I'm optimistic. And all day it's been cloudy, and finally the sun is poking through. The views are getting better. Even from this spot, I can already see the mountains. So overall, this actually is the best hike I've ever taken. It goes through pastures, cows. There's a lot of wildlife, wildflowers. Yeah, it's a beautiful hike. Anyways, we are going up. We're going way up, and I'm stoked. All right, so yeah, this is a very difficult trail because there really isn't a trail. You have these red and white markers, and you basically just look for the next one, and you scramble hands and feet up rock to get to that. And then maybe you'll get like a 10, 20 feet of trail, and then it disappears again, and you got to get back on your hands and knees. It's definitely steep. Yeah, I mean, this is a climb where if you slip, you only slip once. So it's definitely exciting, and the fog, it's not too bad. Gotta keep going slowly. I've been at this for quite some time. It's 13 kilometers, so here we go. Taking a break. That was insanely difficult, but I talked to a couple from Barcelona, and they said that I picked the hardest route to climb this mountain, and they just came from the summit from the other side, and yeah, they just said as long as I watch my hands, I will be fine. So when's the last time you heard someone say watch your hands when hiking? Normally it's wash your feet. So that's how challenging this is. And for the past hour, it's been a scramble. Hands, feet, knees, running through waterfalls. I am drenched up to the waist because the trail markers just disappeared for a good 100 feet. So yeah, feels like I'm in King Kong or something right now with all this fog. But hopefully once we get up close to that 10,000 foot altitude, we'll be well above all these clouds. So that's what I'm hoping. Either way, there is something really interesting up at the top of this mountain, and I'm super stoked to have a beer and head down after that.
I know it might not look like it, but this was a great opportunity for me to start seeing the sky and the surrounding peaks and really get a gist of exactly how high I was and how much more there was to climb. And man, the sights started, the sights are starting to speak for themselves. This was incredible. I'm walking on the ridge of a mountain, and it feels like I'm in a movie, like a movie set of some kind, which technically the top of the Schilthorn was a movie set for one of the most famous James Bond movies ever.
All right, so I'm walking this ridge. The last signpost said I'm at about 2,680 meters. So not bad, but the geography has completely changed being up here. And I know it's a little foggy, but it looks like I'm in a Star Trek movie or something. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this is a very challenging hike, and I'm just taking my time. The area is getting a little bit thin, but man, like this is a pretty cool hike. And yeah, there's different stages, different elements, different types of rock, different types of ice and mud that you have to climb through just to make it here. And I still have a ways to go, maybe 300, 400 meters. So let's see what that looks like. But yeah, pretty soon, gonna be at the top. It's gonna be awesome.
At this point in the climb, I was already getting winded. The altitude was starting to get to me, and I really had to focus on my breathing. But you can see the geography starting to change. The rocks are getting a little bit slippier and a little bit more unstable, but as long as I saw that white and red flag ahead of me, I knew I was in the right direction. Now the cool thing about having a drone is, yes, I get some really cool shots, but I also get to see the trail in front of me, and it built some confidence once I reached this point because I realized I was getting closer to the summit, and I started seeing things like these stairs that don't touch the ground and were actually kind of challenging to climb up onto, but I knew that I was probably less than 45 minutes from the end of the trail, and as things got steeper, I had to put my camera away, so yeah, there was some time between this and the end, but I was on the way.
All right, guess where I am. Finally made it to the summit of the Schilthorn mountain. Yeah, that was a climb.
We made it.